What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another edition of the Six Gaming Podcast. This is episode number 136. It's just like this number just keeps growing, and I don't know how. And we just keep going. Time, and us we just don't give up. What it is. Filling in for your host, as always, it's Ronkley. With more turkeys for Shosan. He'll be back, I believe, in 3 weeks. So we should see him soon. TM. We'll see. But with me, I have a very... It's kind of like I want to call it an enormous cast of awesome and illustrious co-hosts, but Veg isn't here. So we have many. We have many awesome and illustrious co-hosts, starting with Mr. Pantherian.
There are some co-hosts today.
There are some co-hosts. A few. They're just not ginormous.
Just not an enormous cast.
Yes. Some koalas can get pretty large, but in before quality puns.
Oh, Jesus. Every time I'm on, I feel like there's a pun to do with koalas.
I thought
yeah, but it's usually the same one.
You're right. They're quality puns.
Well, at least that's in before them. That's cold. We're bringing back Solo Mail again. Hello.
Hello.
And Colgado, long time no see.
Howdy. Yep, it's been a while. How's it going?
It's going all right. And we have another... it just seems like the last few weeks have just been pouring with news. There's just been so much going on. So let's get started with Shosan's favorite half of the show. This is news. We have lots of news, and we have a lot of Destiny news this week. First of all, so on Destiny 2 for the consoles, you have a bit of aim assist because, aiming with those controllers, it's not really great. So they help you out with a little bit of aim assist. But typically when it comes to keyboard mouse, well, the mouse is pretty precise, so they usually don't port that kind of thing over. They're doing it for PC.
Well, so when you have your mouse and keyboard, you don't have aim assist. As soon as you touch your controller, you have aim assist.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yes, and the biggest problem is that there's a box, and I don't remember what it's called right now, but you basically plug your mouse and keyboard into the box.
Access controller.
The box passes through as controller. So you're basically using mouse and keyboard to create controller input, so the computer thinks you're using a controller. You get aim assist with mouse and keyboard.
Lovely.
Which in PvP blows. It's going to probably be a problem with competitive, but for now I'm just playing PvE. One thing that you didn't mention is Destiny 2 launched on PC this week.
Oh, I didn't see the news for that.
Well, it wasn't a specific news thing. It was just, it wasn't an article by itself. It was just
so that's probably the reason for all the Destiny 2 news, isn't it?
That would be the reason for the Destiny 2 news.
So there were a lot of bans in the opening week as well. I was reading some of the forums on this, people complaining that they were getting banned, and they're saying, I'm using OBS and I got banned, and Bungie's come out and said third-party apps will not result in bans. Yeah,
so the thing people are claiming is that overlay apps are causing bans.
Mm-hmm.
OBS.
There's a couple
Discord,
other ones. What's the big one that's just specifically for overlays? I can't think of the name of it. I want to say it's like Fox something.
Shadow
Overwolf?
Yeah, that's it. Overwolf.
Overwolf?
Yes, Overwolf.
Yep. So there's a lot of people that are claiming this. I don't know if that's true. Bungie has come out and said that is not what's causing bans. They haven't said if there have actually been bans.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they're banning people who are using the controller box.
Maybe.
I would be surprised because it would be exceptionally hard to detect that.
Yeah, you just don't know.
And I think just today there was an article that I read that said they realized that there was a couple of erroneous bans and they have unbanned a few people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I just watched a video actually on The Know, which is where I get most of my news about it today. And before this, they said the bans that you get are deserved. And they did ban like 400 people for bots, but those weren't for
botting already. Jesus.
Yeah. PC gaming. Jesus nowadays. I know. So I'm sure there'll be some Chinese markets that will sell runs at some point as well.
Yeah.
There's nothing to buy, nothing to sell.
Mhm.
So anyway, we'll see. I haven't been streaming it. I've been playing a lot, but I haven't been streaming because I'm a little concerned about it still, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll be a reporter in the field. I'll stream it and see if I get banned for OBS.
There you go. And some good news on Destiny 2. The Leviathan raid, which we've talked about a couple times, has been taken down by a entirely deaf clan. No audio cues.
Nice.
Turn your sound off and try to play games like this and see how good you do. These guys are taking down are taking down raids, which is that's incredible.
Yep.
So
it was pretty cool. Look up the stuff about it. They were using basically pre-written text callouts in the chat, which is still hard to notice and use quickly as you can with voice. So
yeah, well, at least
good
as far as we know, typically if you can't hear, usually the other senses make up for that. So it's probably a lot easier for them to be able to do stuff like that. So congratulations to them. I think that's fantastic.
Yep.
The only other release that I see coming up here, Harvest Moon, Light of Hope, is going to be releasing November 14th.
Actually, I believe Wolfenstein
PC
2 launched this week as well.
Wolfenstein 2. Oh, I think I've seen someone playing that.
Are we missing the biggest release of this week?
Oh no.
Super Mario. Odyssey.
Oh yeah, Super Mario. I thought you were going to say freaking Pokemon for a second.
No, Pokemon's the 17th.
Podcast. That's exactly what it is.
I'll be back here for Pokemon. Don't worry.
But yes, Odyssey launched. It is apparently getting decent reviews.
I'm excited because I can actually start playing some of this stuff. I got my new computer, so
sweet.
Well, for Super Mario Odyssey, that's for the Switch.
Yeah, and it's the second Switch game that comes with a bunch of like 10 out of 10s and 9 out of 10s and 5 out of 5s. And it's like the Switch is just like, compared to the Wii U, it's night and day in terms of successfulness.
Yeah, and they're saying that this game it looks like it's got a lot of inspiration in terms of how open the world is to things like Breath of the Wild.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
So they're saying a lot of good things about this game. Yeah, we should have put something like this in news because there's I remember seeing another news article about the control scheme for Mario Odyssey apparently is super weird, especially if you play it mobile. So
yeah, there's a bunch of weird. They even came out and said it's meant to have the controllers off of it.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a lot of motion controls, and the motion controls differ because you can throw your hat and control different creatures in the game, and everything you can control has somewhat different controls.
Yeah, but by the way, did you know you can control a zipper?
I did not know you could. I haven't got that far.
You can control a zipper.
That's amazing.
I bet.
I can control a zipper in real life too.
But you can't be the zipper.
Oh,
yeah, you
Coles
can if
can be
you're
the zipper.
Coles can control the zipper in real life. Yeah, well,
Coles
we
controls
know
lots
about
of
that.
zippers.
So moving on, we got a couple of games that are not doing development, starting with Gearbox's Battleborn. They have released their final update and will be not working on it anymore.
it's a sad day. I have that game and I bought it on release night and nobody ever played it.
Yeah, it's apparently it was they had high hopes for this game and it just didn't pan out. So
Well, it released like
was too good.
Yeah, it released 2 weeks before Overwatch did.
yeah, that's kind of a death sentence right there.
And they're like, yeah, they're super similar games, and it was like, this game's fun, like really fun if you get into it, but it's just like Overwatch is this giant overshadow to it. So
It's kind of like they're watching over, Sorry, that was terrible. I take that back. And then we already know that Mass Effect Andromeda has stopped doing development, but they do still want to wrap up the story. They're just not doing it in game format. They are going to be writing a book to do it.
That's
that's interesting.
Yeah, that's what I call a unsuccessful game.
but it's got enough.
It's like,
it's
and here, let us fill in some of the plot holes. There you go. Here's a book that summarizes the end of the story. I guess that's one way to do it.
Well, you got mid
Reads
slightly.
though.
You got mid slightly less depressing than the Half-Life 2 Episode 3.
oh God, yeah.
article.
Yeah, that is a good point. At least this is officially sanctioned.
And a lot longer.
And yeah, it'll actually be before. Which I mean, you can see that as two different ways. One that Mass Effect Andromeda had, it was the game itself was pretty disappointing, but it's got enough of a fan base that people want to know what happens.
Mhm.
So maybe this book will do well, and we'll see what happens with that. So, so that's that. Actually, have a bit of Steam news. We announced the 3 sales last week. By the way, there's a ton of great games for sale on Steam right now. Spelunky is like half off. I think I saw what game did I see? It was like 90%. I think the Creeper World series is like super inexpensive. Definitely worth checking out. A lot of these sales are going on.
Was that Shower with My Dad game on sale?
Shower with My Dad Simulator
2015. It was 15. Yeah.
Wow. We should probably get that updated.
That's
Witcher's still on sale.
yeah, Witcher. Yeah, I think we mentioned that one last week, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, a lot of good sales going on, of course. So to help other people buy games,
Help me help you.
yes, help me, Dan. Buy a Steam digital gift card for me.
Also, Assassin's Creed Origins is out.
Yep. Yeah, that one. I saw a couple people playing that. But yeah, there's Steam now has digital gift cards that you can buy other people that they can use to purchase games. So
wait, you can buy movies on Steam?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I knew that.
I don't think I knew that either.
You can buy music.
Where'd you see that?
I'm scrolling through the Halloween sale and I see you can buy Cube 2 Hypercube.
But they have like a few little movies on there, I believe.
As well as American Werewolf in London, Dante's Inferno, Scream 4, Cube, Saw.
Well, there
Psycho.
you go.
Yeah.
Pretty neat.
That's interesting.
So yeah, and another thing that they're adding is they have this new curator update that's in beta, and the idea is that they're tackling the problem with when these developers giving out keys and getting some shady reviews as a result. Who posted this? That may know more about this because I didn't read it all the way through. But I do know it's a beta.
It was not me.
It was a beta article or a beta program rather for Steam, and it's kind of interesting because they're trying to improve the quality of their reviews. So we'll see if this goes live. Apparently, you can follow your favorite curators and stuff like that. It looks like it's going to be a pretty big update. So definitely keep an eye out on that for Steam. Like I said, it's in a closed beta right now. So it's going to be interesting. And I found this article. Someone posted this article. The DMCA, the Digital Millennium Copyright Act, prevents you from copyrighting games, but they have exemptions for things like libraries. So there was a ruling recently that was going to allow the U.S. libraries to continue to preserve these old games, and now they're looking at possibly adding things like MMOs.
Are they going to run vanilla WoW servers? I
don't know. That's what I find interesting is that maybe they might be allowed to do that, but I imagine they're only going to be. The servers aren't public, so that's not something I don't think they could store. I don't know. I have no idea exactly how it works, but it's pretty cool that they're allowed to do this. That they're you can have these, you can have things like this. How do you preserve an MMO exactly? So I don't know. Seems pretty neat.
We'll find out.
Yep. And now for the failures of the week, starting with Metal Gear Survive. If you want to play single player, you have to be always online.
Yay.
There's a lot of games that are getting like that. I'm just kind of giving in and giving up and just assuming that every game has to be online for the most part.
I don't like that. I think
I don't like it either.
I think it's
but
bad.
I don't know how we fight against it.
Yeah, that's the problem. How do you
buy those games?
Exactly.
Yeah, just don't buy them.
Like I think like Diablo 3, for instance, was kind of an exception because it's kind of geared at playing with other people.
Well, and like, I don't know, Grand Theft Auto 5 has the single player, but it really, really wants to be online.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is that like it's even with games that are like completely multiplayer based, it just means that you have a dependency towards the company servers, and a lot of the times the company servers don't even stay online the whole time. And look at TF2. Like imagine if the game automatically like locked you out of everything every time you were offline. That means that you wouldn't be able to do any bot matches. You wouldn't be able to mess around on a single player server or like a LAN that's disconnected from the internet.
Yeah, it's kind of silly for some games, and I don't know how Metal Gear Survive is going to handle this. Do they even have a multiplayer mode?
So my biggest issue with being online on single player games is actually with like the new Shadow of War game that just came out. And so they see that you're stuck on a boss because you're online, and they're like, "Hey, why don't you buy this loot crate so you can get an extra guy that you can get past this content with?" It's like, this is a single player game. I don't need microtransactions in a single player game. And definitely don't shove them down your throat.
Yeah, but we know that game is pretty bad. I don't think we've even actually sat here and discussed an article on it or anything. It's that bad. It's just like, it's trash, essentially.
Yeah, the game's great, and just the business practices are like, why?
Really
why
bad.
is this needed?
So, yep. And then Microsoft they're no longer developing the Kinect. It's gone. They're done.
Yeah.
Not exactly a surprise.
I've lost connection.
I've never
it
seen
almost-
anybody actually play with it.
I
don't know. It never really appealed to me, but
I've seen the
Cool.
Kinect in action once, and it was
Did
silly.
you just say you've seen some people play with it?
I play with it all the time. I can say Xbox turn it on, and then it turns on.
Hold on.
Cole turns things on just by talking to them.
Yes, exactly.
sweet talker, you.
Hey, by the way, Ronckley, Pokemon.
It responds to me every time I talk to it. It's like an actual thing.
It's responding. That's what we're
Yeah, that
calling it.
Google chick does that too.
Sure.
So does Siri.
Miss Google lady. Yes.
She's never serious enough though.
Yeah. Get fucked. Yeah. So the Kinect is going bye-bye. It's interesting because when I was reading the article, it was saying something along the lines of, they're doing this, but the Kinect has some great technology behind it. It's just not being applied in the right field. They don't think this is good for video games. So we might see Kinect technology show up elsewhere at some point. But for now, they're just going to get rid of it. So
maybe
the
next thing we'll see is their what do they call it? The Microsoft Hollow Glass thing. Maybe that'll go
HoloGlass?
to Xbox. Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe that will come to Xbox. That'll be okay.
Like I think that the reason that they applied the Kinect to the Xbox in the first place was, because they wanted to have some sort of competition with the Wii, as they thought
that's
that
exactly what it was.
they thought that this was such a huge major deal because the Wii was selling so well, that they needed to their Xbox, which was more of a traditional game machine, to have something that could one up it.
Yep. And it got better and better as it went along, too. I know that Brox, for instance, has done some really seriously awesome stuff with it at his job at NASA.
Yeah.
This has applications outside of gaming. So that's why
Another
we might see this pop up in the technology for it pop up somewhere else.
Yeah, and another big thing is this signals to me that Xbox is also not going to be looking into VR, because for PSVR you need their camera, and if they're not supporting Kinect anymore, it probably means no VR for Xbox.
Yeah, maybe. So we'll see what happens with that. And now, if you own a Nintendo Switch and you in the past have owned a GameCube and have a controller for that, the latest update for the Switch allows you to use GameCube controllers on the Switch, which is interesting.
Pretty good controller.
The thing is that the GameCube controller for adapter for the Wii U actually only worked with Smash Bros and nothing else. So, they didn't end up like implementing like any sort of use for it. So I'm glad that they're finally going to do that. Like, and also not to mention that the GameCube controllers had official support for every single console since GameCube.
Yeah, it's true. So
just give me the 64 controller support. Give me like an adapter, then I'll be a-okay.
Let me use the Nintendo Entertainment System controller on the Switch.
that would be pretty good. I like that.
Pong, or the
Hey, you could use
Atari, rather.
You could use a Wii remote on the side, and it's pretty much like an NES controller.
Yeah, pretty much. So yeah, we talked about NeoGaf last week.
Not NeoGaf.
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 NeoGaf. It's a capital GAF, so I don't know. We can call it NeoGaf. I'm not against that.
Neog as fuck.
Neog as fuck, yes. So apparently, we talked about them being down last week. Well, they claim it was for maintenance, and they're back up and back online. And the guy's trying to say, "Hey, these claims are false," and stuff like that. And if you didn't hear what was going on, apparently the guy who runs NeoGaf, I forget his name, but he was accused of some form of sexual assault, and I don't know. It's a lot of he said, she said right now. Not a whole lot beyond that. And a lot of people thought that NeoGaf went down because of that, because a lot of the people were starting to leave the site. A lot of moderators left, stuff like that. So personally, I don't think I've even heard of NeoGaf before this.
Oh, it's old school. It's
Yep. Like when I hear people talk about it, it's usually like the way people talk about 4chan.
Oh yeah.
it's not exactly 4chan, but it's old like Slashdot and stuff. It's one of those things that was kind of popular for a while, and then some people stayed on, and most people went to other places.
Yep. So they're back up. And in other news of people just being stupid, the University of North Carolina's, I believe this was, I don't remember if it was a football or basketball player, Joel Berry. Apparently he was playing some kind of video game, and he lost his shit. Punches a wall and breaks his hand. Well done.
He was playing NBA 2K18.
No, they don't know what he's playing.
No, I'm saying he was playing NBA 2K18.
No, they didn't say what he was playing.
I just looked at an ESPN article literally just a second ago.
Oh, really? So they've updated since.
Yeah, and a different.
When I read it, there was they did not know what they were playing. So yeah,
different article. Sports ball.
It is sports ball, yes. Yeah, that's pretty bad. But I think this next bit takes the cake of stupidity of the week. So this one actually makes me mad because I actually remember this guy when he was in the North American LCS, and he's a 80 carry named Vasily, and he's a Chinese player, and he was doing a stream this week, and just in the middle of the stream, and I watched like the first minute of this video. It's like a 9-minute video where what he does, he's just sitting there, just like nothing's happening. And then you literally see him just do this a literal table flip.
Well, there was something like I was watching one of them where there was someone talking in the background, like, and presumably it was his girlfriend.
Yep.
I don't know if she was criticizing the way he was playing or what. I honestly skimmed the video because I didn't have time to watch it.
She pretty much was saying, "Don't get so mad over video games."
Yeah.
Yep.
And then he literally table flips.
He got mad over her saying, "Don't get mad over video games," and he ends up going off on his girlfriend. Starts beating her, and apparently he got arrested for it.
Yeah, I guess at the end he gets back on the stream and he's like, "All right, guys, how to go to jail."
So there's like an updated article today where she said he didn't beat me. I was just scared, so I called the police. Whether that's her defending him or
probably,
what? Yeah. So he's already been banned.
Hey,
Ron's getting beat on stream by his girlfriend.
This isn't my girlfriend. My girlfriend doesn't come over until after my wife goes to work.
Oh, right.
But within an hour, he was kicked off his professional team in China, and then within like 6 hours, Riot made a ruling saying he couldn't play professionally anymore. So,
and frankly, whether or not he actually
terrible.
hit her or not, I agree with that. Like,
There's been a lot of stuff, controversies around people streaming lately, like all the stuff that you've brought up in the podcast so far. But then there was also that PewDiePie thing where he,
we brought that up a while ago.
Yeah.
There were a few stories that spawned from that too. I mean, this is pretty serious.
Yeah,
Streamers
about
really
them
need to
saying that he
get
can't
their shit together.
monetize and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yep.
Which is an interesting case study anyway. But
I'm sorry, Dan. We started talking about League of Legends. I didn't even ask you what you were drinking.
Cabernet Sauvignon.
He's ready with that. So that does it for our main news. Of course, we still have League of Legends Worlds going on, Worlds 2017, and last week was kind of bittersweet because Cloud9 had their best showing at Worlds.
Mm-hmm.
It just wasn't enough.
Mm-hmm.
So why was drinking on the schedule? Drinking is always on the schedule because Dan doesn't like League of Legends, and so he drinks while we're talking about it.
It's not that I don't like it.
You don't like
just that I
the
don't give a
professional.
shit.
He doesn't.
Like-
He doesn't give a shit.
Yeah,
So he doesn't
like
like it.
I've played it a couple times. It's all right. I prefer Heroes, but it's all right. I just don't watch it.
I've been thinking of resurrecting Ron's Bronze Plays for 2018.
Yeah, go for it.
I don't know if I'm going to. I got a lot going on, so we'll see. But
What's that, anyways? Ron's Bronze Plays?
Ron's Bronze Plays.
And then it
It's
was
been a while. It's been a while.
Ron had silver strats for a while.
Yeah, I had to change it to Silver Strats because I got promoted out of Bronze. I tried
Bronze. I see.
Ron's Bronze Play. It was a lot of fun. There's some funny things that happen on that, and most of them are me playing Bronze. So, but yeah, I'm considering it. We'll see if it happens. I don't know. But yeah, Cloud9 fell 3-2. Who are they playing? WE.
WE, yeah.
But they were up 2-1.
Yep. And so all the Western teams were out in the same week.
Yep. Figures.
Misfits was doing really good against SKT. They're up 2-1.
They were up 2-1 as well. And last night, RNG was also up 2-1 on SKT.
Oh no! If SKT is like turning into the Patriots for me, I just I want somebody else to win.
Yeah, it's ridiculous because you compare them to the Patriots and you have what the fuck's his name, Tom Brady, who's been like the center of the team, and the people around him change, but you always have Tom Brady. Faker is the same way.
Yeah,
the team around him changes, but you always have Faker. Faker is like the SKT guy. And it's like if he ends up leaving the team for whatever reason, it won't be SKT anymore. You know? So
it's just I'm hoping. I think Samsung could beat him, and that's what I'm gonna go for, because 4 out of the 8 years of League of Legends and SKT's won 4 for the championships. It's like, it's almost too much.
Yeah, not even 8 years. This is the 7th.
Oh yeah, this is the 7th year.
Well, this is the 7th. They will have won more than half if they win this one. To be fair, they went from a 3-0 win to a 3-1 win to a 3-2 win.
Yeah, it's gonna be a 2-3 this year.
Yeah, we'll see if they take it out. When they fielded Easy Hoon for half the season instead of Faker last year, I remember that because they played Easy Hoon, and I think it was like the spring split finals for all 3 games instead of Faker. Faker did not play the spring split finals, and they won 3-0. So yeah, that's like it was interesting when they did that, and it's like, but now Faker is definitely the main mid guy. So we'll see how that goes. Of course, WE and God, who is it? It's not Samsung play tonight. Samsung, I'm pretty sure, is heavily favored, which means we would have this would be the second consecutive year in a row, wouldn't it?
Of Korea versus Korea?
Of those 2 teams specifically.
Oh yes. Yep. Yeah, that's it.
So yeah, that'll be happening tonight about I think it starts around like 1 a.m. Pacific. So get up really early in the morning if you're on the East Coast. Stay up really late if you're on the West. I was only able to watch 2 of the games last night. I couldn't do it. So anyway, we're going to move on to our second half of the show. This is Shosan's favorite half of the show, and I think it's got a name that we have all agreed on now. Thank you, Solo Mail. This
No problem.
is the playlist.
I like it.
I like it. It's succinct. It's good. And
Yes, I'm a contributor.
That's great.
That's
I have
here.
we can add that to my playlist on my videos.
No.
I have my website.
This isn't the Coles Arotha playlist.
Oh,
We don't want that. So, since you named this Solo, why don't you tell us what you've been doing this past week?
So you see this hat? Hat is a sprite from a game that I've been streaming called. Can someone guess it?
I thought it was like a little like guy with a
little
mask
guy, holding
celery.
something.
Nope, it's just a hat.
It's just a hat.
Mario.
No. Didn't you see my my picture on the side? Not my picture. The streaming notification on the side Discord.
No.
Okay, I'll just tell you. I was doing Terraria.
That's a Terraria hat. Okay.
Yep.
Cool.
Actually, it's the thing is that it's actually a reference to Cave Story.
Oh
It's
God,
actually
Realm of the Mad God.
What?
No, that's not Realm of the Mad
chat.
God. Oh yeah,
Okay,
that brings
so
back
anyways.
memories for a few of us.
Anyways, as I was saying, so I was streaming Terraria, and I finished my playthrough of using only ranged weapons. So only weapons that have the range description on it, which includes bullet weapons and arrow weapons and explosive weapons, basically.
Do you consider the boomerang type weapons to be ranged?
No, those are melee.
Oh, you consider melee? Okay.
Yeah, basically melee dips into a few ranged options so that you have options to deal with like enemies at distance.
Mhm.
Like there's yo-yos for one. So anyways, then shortly afterward I decided to. Well, the thing is that in DMC Devil May Cry I was playing Dante Must Die mode, and I kind of got stuck at in the middle, in one of the levels in the middle of it. So I decided, you know what, I'll stream it and maybe I'll grow a pair and actually finish it. So that's basically what I've been playing.
You're telling us about a game before the show started.
Oh,
You're actually playing
what was I? Yeah, Amnesia. That's
Yeah.
not what I've been playing. It's what I'm going to play, hopefully, for more
good
than
luck.
10 minutes.
Yeah, Shosan and I just nope right out of that game. Neither of us enjoy that game.
I'm hoping I'm going to last longer.
I got, I think, through part of the water level.
I
It
remember
wasn't that
that
it was
water
too
level.
scary. It was just really frustrating. Like if you got stuck in a corner, you were just screwed.
I honestly feel like I'm cheating because I did watch that whole playthrough of it a year ago. So, but
Yeah, I've watched people play it as well, and it's like when I watch someone play it, for me, it's more entertaining because they're the one moving around, they're the one getting the scares, and I'm like watching, I'm like having a ground. I play it, I'm like, fuck this. Let's just nope right on out. It's like crazy.
That's an interesting, that's an interesting example of the difference between participating in something and just watching something happen.
Yeah, for sure.
And the funny thing is that I have a series I'm going to probably be resurrecting next month, Wild Wednesday, where and it's evolved over time. And what it is now is it's all Steam games that I have yet to get achievements for. And I was like, all right, yes, I'm not going to get to play Amnesia. Anyway, they added achievements. Like, fuck you guys. So yeah, that's on the list, unfortunately. Anyway, anything else? Anything else, Solo?
Well, yeah, that's pretty much it.
All right. Colgado, I haven't heard from you in a while. What have you been up to?
Well, I've been playing lots of stuff. Same as I've still been playing Star Trek Online. Been playing Grand Theft Auto 5. I'm about to jump back into Hitman. I felt like playing it.
Right.
That's a good reason.
As of anything new, I'm just going to go back and play a bunch of the games I wanted to finish a long time ago and never could.
Yeah, you were saying for a while that you were having that. I don't know if it was a computer issue or what, but
I just had a shitty computer.
Yeah, but yeah, look forward to.
And now I don't.
What you're able to do with it. So cool. Coles, any quality games you've been playing this last week?
Oh, only the highest of qualities.
Only the highest quality. Have you been smoking again?
Um, That Bellsprout, yeah, the greatest Pokemon game ever. Anyway, yes, Pokemon is great, Ron, and I can't wait to just. Oh, anyway, yeah, I've been hopping back into Skyrim actually on PC a little bit.
Yeah, I was thinking about doing that too.
Yeah,
He's playing right now.
Yeah, I am playing right now.
Pulling a veg on us here. What the hell?
Actually, I'm just reading the in-game text of the story because they have like a 20-page book I'm reading inside the game.
Yeah, I've seen.
It's okay. I'm playing Star Trek, so.
But
I'm playing cat herding.
Seriously.
So I have like 1,000 hours on Skyrim on my Xbox, but I never actually did the final DLC for it. So I'm kind of trying to catch back up to where I was on my Xbox on the PC and then doing that. I've also been playing a little bit more League, not as much this week. I have some studies I had to get done this week. But other than that, not a whole lot.
How's your collegiate program been going for?
Oh, it's good. I have a tournament this weekend actually out of town.
Cool.
So
good luck.
Yeah, that'll be exciting.
Where exactly?
Just over in Bozeman. It's like a
Okay.
3-hour drive.
Sounds good. And
Yeah.
then anything else?
That's about it. I got the Humble Monthly. I've tried out a few of those games that I got, but not a whole lot. So,
all right. Dan, what you been up to?
Mostly just Destiny 2. Launched on either Monday or Tuesday. Tuesday, I think.
How is it?
And I'm enjoying it. I got it for free, basically.
Yeah, because of the because you can buy it with
because I
WoW tokens,
took
yeah.
my I took my WoW Gold, which I actually got it all out at a pretty good time because it is worth not a whole lot anymore. It's like 100-something thousand gold per token, and I got it out at 80. So I got Overwatch for free, and I got Destiny 2 for free.
Okay.
And I would say it's at this point already worth it. I bought the thing that came with the X packs, so I got basically the season pass along with the main game, and I've leveled a Warlock to 20, which is the max level right now, and done a couple of the strikes, which are basically like dungeons. And I'm leveling a Hunter, and I'll probably level a Titan too. And I'll just kind of decide at that point. Obviously, it took 3 days to level, or 4 days or whatever, to level to 20. So it's not that much effort. And I'll choose one, kind of like I did in Warcraft. I'll choose a class and get all the gear up. Real Messengers asked if anybody joined my IRE clan. I made an Iron Realms clan. There's like 8 people in it. I'm probably just going to open up to whomever wants to join, or disband it and join a big clan that has all the perks already. I don't know. I thought there'd be more people that would join.
Maybe just not a lot of people playing it in
Just
the
not a
tech
ton of
smud
people.
world. Yeah.
Well, I mean, everyone spends 15 hours a day playing their mud. So what do they have time for Destiny?
Yeah, exactly. So, all right. Anything
That's
else?
it.
That's it.
No, that's all I've been playing.
So I've been playing a few games this week. On the one that I did something really cool in is Death State, where I've set a personal best in what I believe to be the world record for most number of floors reached on Endless. I hit 31 in my most recent PB,
Nice.
Which broke the previous one by like 8. Like I just demolished it. It was insane. It's like after like the 15th or 16th floor on Star Creep, you are one-shottable by everything. Not you
Really?
get touched, you die. So that's basically playing perfect for 15 plus floors. And I actually had a really good build. I went crazy at one point because I took a boss down from half health in like one shot. It was insane. It was a really good run. I couldn't believe how well that went. I haven't been able to come close to duplicating that since. I've tried a few times. Been playing a lot of Crypt and the Necrodancer. 2 things I'm working on is trying to improve my tempo time, which is pretty freaking hard when you're at 5 minutes. And then I'm trying to do the very polyamorous. I don't know. Play all the
Polyamorous?
Yeah,
Polyamorous.
polyamorous. Whatever. And that you basically have to play 13 of the 14 characters, everything except Coda, in a row. You can play them in any order. Of course, I start with the 2 characters that are the hardest for me, which is Mary, who can go fuck herself with her damn lamb.
Holes. I just had a new idea for your website.
We don't involve Marys. I mean, if it was like a Mark.
Yeah. Well, the lamb's name unofficially is Marv.
Oh, perfect. See, we might be able to work out a thing.
And yeah, so basically, if you don't know, like if you know Crypto the Necrodancer, but you don't know the DLC, basically Marv is a lamb that follows your character Mary every beat and dies on one hit, and if it dies, Mary takes a full heart of damage every beat until she either leaves the floor and gets her lamb back, or she dies.
That's nuts.
It's stupid. It's the worst fucking character in the game. And I beat her. And then I beat Arya, who you guys already know how much I hate that bitch. But I hate her for different reasons. I can actually play Arya. And then I get to Monk, and I'm like on the first floor, and I'm like, all right, here we go. Let's step on gold on 1-1 on the first floor. Get it over with. Okay, so I go to the shop on 1-1, and I pick up the battle shovel, which means if you dig out a wall, your next hit, you have infinite damage. I go, and the first enemy I see is a fucking yellow skeleton, which has 2 health. I hit the goddamn wall. I hit the goddamn skeleton, and I go to hit the skeleton again, but he's already dead. He's up against the wall. He's already dead. And I jump on the gold and die to gold on 1-1, just like I said I was going to.
Yeah, I don't think he had a shield.
I was so mad. It was like, oh.
That was awesome.
Yeah, it was terrible. It was terrible. I was like, I'm done. I'm going to bed. Screw this. We'll come back and try another day. So that's Crypt of the Necrodancer. I've been playing a lot of Creeper World 3 lately. And the main reason is because I'm starting to get hyped for Creeper World 4. The developer Virgil's about to he's been putting out a lot of videos and screenshots, and it's going to be a 3D version of the game, which is like really cool. And I'm just trying to get a lot of the achievements, which is a lot of grindy achievements. So just playing along. And then I played a really cool game. This game is on Steam. This game is free to play. With there's no microtransaction or anything. It's just a free game. It's called Null Vector, and this is a twin stick shooter, and it's got this really cool arcade aesthetic to it, like 80s arcade vector graphic thing going on. And I highly recommend it. It's frustrating when you start, but as you start understanding how the game mechanics work, it gets really cool. It's definitely worth checking out. So it's called Null Vector. So yeah, and other than Ingress, that's about it. Ingress, of course, Niantic responded to those allegations of cheating last week by saying, "We're investigating." Thanks, guys.
Better than nothing.
Thanks. So yeah, nothing official in terms of what they're doing. And by the way, if you're interested in sports ball, the World Series is tied up at 2 apiece. It's going to go back to LA.
Sports ball.
Yep. So I guess that's it for Melvin the Noob Slayer. I love that. That is really cool. That does it for the second half of the show, which means we're going to move on to the third half of the show. So Showsad's favorite part of the show. This is a 6 gaming roundtable where we don't have a roundtable. Now,
yeah, I actually sold my round table. I got a square table now.
Oh shit!
Fuck, I thought we were going to be okay, and now
I ruined it. I'm so sorry.
Now we're screwed. So yeah, this is where we pose a question with a topic on gaming, and we'll just talk about it for a bit. And this week we're going to talk about something that came up a few weeks ago. This is the Steam terms and conditions. And something that was noted was that, let's say that you have an old collection of Atari games. You have the physical Atari 2600, you got like 30 or 40 cartridges to go with it, and you get hit by a bus. Yeah, you're dead.
Ooh.
Well, what happens to the game and the cartridge? The games. What happens to Atari and the games? You get to give it to someone else, right?
Absolutely, you will it.
Yeah, you just will it to someone. Fine. Steam doesn't quite work that way. If you kick the bucket, your Steam library is essentially gone.
Yep.
So my question is this a good practice? And if not, what else can you do?
So you want to know what my grandpa said to me before he kicked the bucket?
What's that?
Hey, you want to see how far I can kick this bucket?
Ah,
Anyway, so
fucking Christ! I swear to God, Dan,
that was a groaner.
if I could reach through this monitor and smack you, I would.
I thought it was an A+ myself, Dan.
yeah. So I don't know how they're going to know, but there's going to be a point in like, assuming that Steam sticks around, right? Like, because we all have a bunch of money in Steam, and if they just go kaput at some point, then we're just screwed anyway.
Right.
But if they stick around for another 70 years, there's going to start being some accounts that are like, wow, this account's 100 years old. I don't think the original owner is still playing the games.
Right.
So I wonder if they're going to say, like, at a certain length of age, basically when an account reaches a certain age, then it's automatically shut down.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, like, no one's going to self-report, oh, the owner of this died, but I want to take it over. The only way that would ever happen is if the password's unknown and they email Steam trying to get the password or something.
Right. Yeah, it's kind of silly. I mean, I know a lot of people on the other side of the fence with one of the guys goes by 8-Bit Memories. I think I talked about him last week. Works for I don't think he works for GOG, but he's a streamer for them, and he's really strongly against the things that Steam does with keeping track of who has a license for what and stuff like that. Whereas GOG, you get the game, you can play it forever. But yeah, this is one of the arguments against this what is it called? Digital. I'm forgetting the term. But it's an argument against doing what Steam does with these games, where they control your license. You can only play when they say you can.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And it's I don't know. I really don't know how I feel about it, because who really controls who you can play it? You're not buying the game. You're buying a license to use the software.
Right.
As long as you're not selling it or doing anything that violates the terms of service of whatever game, I don't see why you shouldn't be able to gift it to somebody else.
Yeah, gifting it to someone else is one thing, but
you know what I mean. But like transfer it, where I guess you run into issues of that could be used on two different computers then, and then you run into that could be considered illegal, but
true. I mean, it's a lot of people are kind of up in arms about this when you read the when you read articles about this. But I mean, what really can you do?
Yeah.
I mean, you bought it for your account. You didn't buy it for, say, your wife's account or your son's account. You can't transfer them. So
maybe you'll be converted into like a new currency in like 50 years. It's just like an online currency that you can use on like not just Steam but other places. And then
I mean, see, that wouldn't be terrible, but then where does that money come from?
Yeah,
that'd be Steam losing money. I don't think they want to do that.
Yeah, it's kind of like a huge like question mark, like that will need to be decided. Probably not even in the near future, but way down the road. So, in my opinion.
If Steam just today decided, yeah, we're done, and shut down Steam,
that would be something else entirely. That would be bye all your games.
That would be tragic.
That scenario just doesn't make much sense, just because like of how like just several.
Just imagine the headaches that would cause as far as the game companies are concerned, and having to.
And then
yeah,
then you have the games where the game companies don't support the game anymore. What would happen then?
Right.
But yeah, but what I mean is like all of your games, like, you know, if you do like a gagepowered.com, I think is one of them. Like there's some different things that'll show you. Like,
Gauge powered?
Yeah, powered.
I didn't know you were such a big deal, Gage.
Gouge, Gauge.
Oh, okay.
Like a gauge, like a steam.
Yeah, I get it.
I might be able to change my website domain after this. Get some free views.
Powered. Anyway,
like an
it'll
Equifax
tell
thing.
you the value of your Steam account. Now
Hold
you can,
on. Why does Coles like Star Trek so much?
I don't. Star Wars is
you do because they always say engage.
Engage hyperdrive.
Make it so.
I got down
No,
with the
I'm
base
the-
bomb. I win.
Now I'm the Trekkie.
Turnabout's fair play. All right, continue. Sorry.
anyway, whatever the fuck we were talking about, I don't remember.
Talk about Steve and what
Gauge
happened.
powered
Shut
dot
down.
com.
Yeah, like you can see like how much your Steam account is worth. Now, I got a bunch of my games on sale, but it takes the current value of all those games and adds it together. And it's like, it's a really big number. And so if all that just went poof, when we live in the world of digital rights, like when you owned a record, no one can stop you from playing that record. When you owned a cassette, no one can stop you from playing that cassette. When you owned a CD, no one can stop you from playing that CD. Now you own an MP3. If you're streaming it, if you have a digital version of a book, suddenly those things can go poof, and now you don't have it anymore. And honestly, it's kind of weird. Like I hold some Bitcoin, not a lot, but a little bit, and it's like if I were suddenly gone, it'd be gone. Like no one else knows how to get it. If you don't have that password, if you don't know how to get to it, it's gone.
Yeah.
And
That's the other thing I've been doing. I've been mining Bitcoins.
Are you out ahead?
I'm sorry?
Are you ahead of your added electric bill?
No, not yet.
Ouch.
I'm mining spread coins and smaller coins, but
Huge mine spread
lot
coins too.
Huh?
Nothing.
Cole's heard the word spread. Got
Yeah,
excited.
Spread for coins. I mean, it sounds like a new currency I could get behind.
that's called
exactly.
prostitution.
Koala coins.
Koala coins. Oh my god.
Wow, that's a new name for that. Wow, I've just come up with
Jesus.
so many ideas from a website tonight. You guys are great.
Jesus. Anyway.
Yeah, that's all I got to say.
But yeah, what ideas would you guys have for something alternate to what Steam would do that might be feasible? I guess that would be another question to ask.
You mean an alternate to absolutely nothing? 'Cause
Well, like I think that the policy is currently in place to protect people's accounts from like fraud and stuff.
Some of it's that, but some of it's the license is assigned to the person, and then if you die, then the license is void, basically.
Yeah.
Oh, and I just looked on it up, and my total cost is over $800, which isn't as bad as I thought it would be.
Yeah, mine's pretty high, but then again, I also have the Humble Freedom Bundle, which probably is contributing to a lot of that.
So some things, like if you get humble bundles or whatever, it'll really screw up your prices.
You can manually enter the prices too.
Yeah.
You can do things like that.
Yeah, which equates to about 35 cents an hour.
That's a pretty good deal. That's not
Yeah.
bad.
Nope. I think there's a lot of things that people pay way more than that for an hour, right?
Exactly.
Coles?
Okay, moving on.
I mean, I can get you some deals if you really need it.
Oh, good. 35 cents an hour?
It might be a little too low.
Oh, okay.
I have to pay these people, you know.
Yeah, but this is way low considering the fact that it's not calculating prices for games that I've paid money on for like microtransactions.
Oh god, yeah. But yeah, any other ideas on this as to ways around this? don't really. I mean, you could try like transferring to someone, but like, what if they have some of the same games you do?
Yeah.
I
In the
mean,
case of like the Atari, okay, you'd have 2 copies of the game. Hey, I can sell one. You can't do that on.
Yeah, I think for Steam, it's just going to be like I'm gonna eventually let my kid play my Steam games, but there will be a point, like, honestly, like, if you look at almost any company, any technology, I think Steam's eventually gonna go kaput. Like, now maybe they'll let you download all your Steam games and turn off the DRM in the meantime, or maybe they'll let some other company host all the files or something. Maybe they'll do something to make it not horrible.
yeah,
for
you'd
everyone.
have to do something like they do, like some form of digital media management or something like that. That would, like, how you can deauthorize your computer for like in iTunes, for example, you can deauthorize. You'd have to have some mechanic of that sort, I think.
Yeah.
So that you couldn't play it on that computer anymore until it was registered again on something else,
So maybe they can do the reverse of that, basically turn off DRM. But maybe Amazon will scoop up all the licenses, and I don't think Amazon's going anywhere. But I don't know if I trust Steam to stick around for.
You never know; it could dry up with global warming.
Like the thing is that I was thinking that, like, if Valve ever decides that they can't hold on to Steam any longer, then they'll probably sell it wholesale, or not wholesale, but completely to someone else. Like you said.
Could you imagine them selling it to EA? Oh my god, that'd be a nightmare.
That could be the
EA games introduction every time you play a game.
Oh my god.
Then they could open up Uplay and put Uplay on every game.
Oh god. No, Ubisoft.
And then we could be stuck with just the Windows Store for every game.
Oh god.
Okay.
I need a drink now, and I haven't had a drink in a couple of years.
The life as a video gamer is hard. For sure. Anyway, I think unless we have anything else we want to talk about in the subject, I think it's high time to wrap it up, huh?
Yeah, I'm gonna make some steamy videos after this.
Yeah, I bet you are. Don't put them on Steam though.
I mean, lately nudity is becoming more acceptable thing on Steam. So,
Dan, anything? Oh, Dan's not here. Dan went away. So, Colgano, do you have anything that you'd like to leave us with today? Any closing comments?
Oh boy, nope, not. I got nothing.
Okay,
I'm a dry well today.
Okay.
Yeah, you should drink some water.
All right. So it's a global warming thing. Solo, anything else you want to shout out?
Yeah, like I was kind of casually playing Metroid Prime 3 again as well. Like I kind of forgot to mention that earlier.
Cool.
There's kind of a lot to talk about, considering that like you don't hear it being talked about as much as Prime 1.
Yeah.
Like I'll just kind of touch on the fact that basically, like, graphically it's like a huge step up from Metroid Prime 2. It's it's like I honestly like to compare it as a step up from like the graphical step up from Final Fantasy 7 to 8, except this is more of like a generational leap. It looks like something that you'd see on the PlayStation 3, except it came out on the Wii back in 2007. So good on Retro.
Very cool. Coles, I'm afraid to ask.
Oh, all I have to say is there's only 20 more days, Ron. And then it'll be an ultra good time with Pokemon and Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, and it'll be heaven for a couple weeks of just Pokemon. So yeah.
I was thinking actually we could have an episode without Ron where we just talk about Pokemon.
You can have that next week. We'll get to that in a second. Dan, anything you want to leave us with?
You can have that Pokemon episode without me too. There are 151 Pokemon, and that is it.
There's 810.
Come on, Gold and Silver are perfectly good.
811. I'm sorry, there's 811.
There are 151, and
at least acknowledge the extra 100 that Johto brought, because those were like a lot of those were supposed to be in the first games. Come on.
Nope. No.
You guys got a good roundtable next week.
If you have 151,
all right.
But number 151 Mew like wasn't supposed to be in the game. It was like found in the game files, and I just gave it in because people found it in the files.
No, you had to get Surf, and you had to go and.
So we're going to have an excellent talk on this next week because I'm not going to be here. I'm going to be in fucking Anaheim, California, going to BlizzCon again.
Oh,
and I'm looking forward to that.
Ron, are you going to give me all your BlizzCon shit?
I am not going to give you all my BlizzCon shit. I'm going to use my BlizzCon shit.
No.
Can you get some Pokemon in Pokemon Go in Anaheim?
No, I'm going to be
Do
in
they not have
Ingersoll,
Wi-Fi
Anaheim.
there? Can you not live stream from there?
Okay, so first of all, battery life sucks. There's no Wi-Fi. Well, there is Wi-Fi, but it's terrible. Yeah, there's no way I could live stream from there.
All I'm hearing is excuses, Ron. I'm just saying.
They are good excuses, trust me.
It
just wouldn't work.
Yeah, like
and plus, I tried to send a picture of what was it, Lincoln Park a couple of years ago, and it just didn't work out. It was terrible. So we're not going to do that again.
Dan's not going to be here next week. Who's going to run the show?
I might be, but I mean, I don't want to talk about Pokemon.
I will.
Well, shit, you should get Lisa on here. I'll text her and tell her because she'll talk about Pokemon all day.
We may or may not have a show next week. We'll
Next
see.
week is the Pokemon episode. Don't tune in.
Yeah, who's going
tune in.
Who's going to run it? That's the thing.
Don't catch
It's
them
like
all.
only 3 people that know how to run the show, and
We're gonna
2
catch.
of them are gone, and
Oh,
the other
you
one
can
is
be in
Dan.
charge?
I mean, I could probably stream it, but I wouldn't want to be in charge.
We just got to go Master Ball Show
Hey,
Santa. And then
so, Real Messenger asked about talking about giant robots instead of Pokemon. I do want to point out that Japan and the United States had a giant robot fight either last week or 2
I
weeks
remember
ago,
this. Yes.
and the United States won the giant robot fight.
Fuck
Oh,
you,
where's-
Japan.
Where's
Fuck
this
you.
exactly?
I don't know
where's
where
the
it was,
chat?
but we had a giant robot fight.
No,
Our
where's the
giant
chat?
robots kick your goddamn ass.
Oh,
Am I missing something?
No, it's the Twitch chat.
Oh, Twitch chat. Really? It's on Twitch?
Yeah, Twitch chat.
Yeah, we're streaming Twitch.
Oh, come on. I missed that the whole time.
Yeah.
Ah, yes.
It's
No one
not.
told me
it's-
about this.
did
Yeah,
you see the
it's
Saudi
rough
Arabian
being a noob.
robot?
What?
Why do you think I pimped 6 Gaming GG
The,
on other channels?
The robot that they showed at Saudi Arabia that like became a Saudi Arabian citizen.
That's another topic entirely, which will be for another time, because we're going to wrap it up here, guys. Thank you again for watching. You can find everything about 6 Gaming over at six.gg, including our Discord server. You can go hang out with us, and that's going to do it for this week. So until next week, Colgano, take it away.
Have a good night.